So please, let's stand up for our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and Amen. So good morning, kids. Good morning, Teacher Jana. Okay, good morning. So are you ready for our lesson today? Yes, teacher! Okay, so before we start our lesson today, let's have an activity first. It's called our reading game. So here's the instructions. So prepare one piece of paper. Here, I'll give you one piece of paper. And listen carefully to me. Make any object or animal out of paper. Then the first five to finish the origami will get a prize. A piece of paper. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to finish your origami. So the 5 minutes will start now. So by the way, I have some examples of origami here. We have some puppet, an airplane, a boat, and a box. Okay, the 5 minutes is over. So Sarah, please come here because you are the first one to finish your task.
Dear teacher,
So what did you do to your paper?
I made a flower for teacher.
Wow! She made a flower. So I have some questions, Sarah. So what did you do to the paper before the origami?
I folded all this paper to form this origami flower.
You good sound.
Force and then I folded it for teacher.
That's good. So do you think applying force to that paper shape affects the size and shape of your origami?
Yes, for teacher.
Do you think so?
Yes, teacher.
So you may now take your seat. Thank you. So what do you think our lesson will be for today? So our lesson today is explain the effect of force on the shape and size of an object. And now, let's jump to our next activity. This activity is a group activity. I will divide the class into 4 groups. This is the group 1, the group 2, the group 3, and the group 4. So each group, I will give a materials for you to observe, an activity sheet for you to jot down your observations. So I will distribute it. For the group 1, I will give a piece of paper. And for the group 2, I will give a sponge. And for the group 3, I will give a biscuit. And for the group 4, I will give a plastic box. So what I want you to do is I want you to change the shape and the size of the objects that I have given to you. And after you have observed it, I want you to jot down your observations. Is that clear, kids?
Yes,
Is
teacher.
that clear?
Yes, teacher.
So now I will give 5 minutes for you to observe your activity, and after that, you will present your output here in front. Your time starts now. Time's up. So I want to do 1% their observation here in front. So, for your questions, what did you do to change the shape and size of the object?
I changed it by crumbling the paper for the chair. I crumbled the paper.
So, what changes took place after you have applied force on that object?
After I applied force to the paper, form into a circle or a ball.
Good observation, Sarah. So you can take this in class. Did you learn something from our activity today, class?
Yes, teacher.
Did you have fun?
Yes, teacher.
To know if you truly learned from our activity today, I have a question for you kids. For question number 1, what do you think force can do to an object?
Teacher.
Yes, Gabe?
I think, teacher, based on our observation, force can change the shape and size of an object.
Uh-huh. So for our next question, what are the ways you need to change the shape and the size of the objects? Teacher? Yes?
The ways I did to change the shape and size of the object are by squeezing, brushing, and compressing. Teacher.
So the ways you did to change the shape and the size of the object is by crushing, compressing, and squeezing. So now, I can truly say that you have learned something from our activity today.
So now, in our observation earlier, let's deepen your understanding about the effects of force on the shape and size of an object. So in our discussion today, we will be tackling 3 questions. First one is what is force? Then what are the effects of force on an object? And lastly, how can we apply force to an object? So now, for the first question, what is force? So what is force? Force is a push or pull that can cause an object to move or change the shape and size. So let's not complicate things. So that is the definition of force. No? So how can we feel force? We can feel force when there is something that pulls us or pushes us that makes us move. So the next question. So what are the effects of force to an object? So if a force is applied on an object, it can cause the object to change its size. For example, pressing or pulling a coil spring can change its size. So let's have another example. So right here is a plastic cup. So when we press the plastic cup, it shrinks, and when you also pull the plastic cup, it came back to its original size. So the next one is force can also cause to change their shape. Like for example, the materials, clay or Play-Doh can easily deform when pressure is applied. So let's have another example. This tire wire right here. So when we bend, it's not straight anymore, right? It's already curved now. So it can change the shape of an object. For the next up is the elasticity. So what is elasticity? So some materials exhibit elasticity, meaning they can return to the original shape after the force is removed. So let's have this sponge right here as an example. So when we add force to the sponge, it shrink and change. It changed the size. It changed the shape now. But when we remove the force, it came back to its original shape and size. So the next one is the plasticity. Other materials may exhibit plastic deformation, meaning they permanently change their shape when a force is applied. So another example is tire wire again. So when we add force from straight, then we add force, then it was bent. So it did not came back to its original shape and size after we applied force. So it is plasticity. Okay, so remember, when the shape turns back into its original size and shape, it is elasticity. And while it won't come back to its original shape and size, it is plasticity. So now, for our next question is, how can we apply force to an object? So there are many ways no, that we can apply force change to an object. So first one is we push. So push no is just simply pushing object. So it can cause an object to move forward. The next one is pull. It can also move an object either forward or backwards. Depends on where side are you pulling or pushing. So the next one is squeeze. So you can apply force on an object by squeezing, like what we did earlier. We squeeze. Then the next one is stretch. So from crumple to stretch, then it changes its size. The next one is twist. Okay, from straight line, then twist it. Now it's curl. Okay, curl. Last one is we can also bend it from straight to curl. So now let's have a stretch. So in order for me to assess if you have really understood our discussion today, let me ask you some question. Okay, can somebody please answer the first question? What is force and how can we feel it? Anybody? Okay, Mr. Ano?
Force is like a push or pull. We feel it when we try to move things or when things push or pull us. For example, when we push a door, we're using force.
That's right. So force can make an object move, no? So we can feel it when we add force to objects, then the objects will move. So for the second question, how does force change the shape of an object? Okay, Miss Porcelain.
First, force can make things bend or stretch. Like when you press a squishy ball, it changes its shape because you're pushing it.
That's right. So change and so shape and so an object can change shape when we add force. So just like these porcelains that said when we add force, it changes its size and shape. For the next one, how does force change the size of an object? So anybody? Okay, Miss Sasa.
Force can make things get bigger or smaller. When you squeeze something, it can get smaller. When you blow up a balloon, it gets bigger.
Yes, that's right. Very good. So the next one is look around the classroom or your home. Can you find anything that changes its size or shape when you add force onto it? Okay, Miss Jana.
We might see things like springs, rubber bands, or even our pillows that change when we press or pull on them.
Okay, very good. So there are many objects now that can really change their size and shape when we add force to it. So for the last question, how do you think knowing about how force affects object can help us in our daily lives? Okay, again, Miss Sarah.
Understanding force helps us make things like building and bridges that are strong and safe. It also helps us to use tools and toys better, like opening doors or playing with balls.
Okay, very good. Seems like you have really understood our discussion today. So now, let's proceed to the next activity.
Now, are you ready for our next activity, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now for the general instruction, I will be dividing the class into 4 groups. This will be group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Now, I will be giving materials and as well as papers with questions for you to answer. Now, the first group will be given a newspaper or a scratch paper. The second group will be given a clay. The third group will be given an empty bottled water. And the fourth group will be given a sponge. Now, do you understand, class?
Yes, teacher.
Now, you will be applying force to these objects and answer the questions written on the piece of paper that will be given to you. Now, group 1. This will be for the group 1. The group 2. Group 3. Bottled water. And group 4 is sponge. Now, for everything, this will be our rubrics for this activity, and you will be graded according to the instruction. Okay? You will be given 10 minutes to finish this activity. Timer starts now. Okay. Time's up. Group 1, will you please present your answers in front? Can you change the shape?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. What shapes or forms have you made with it?
A ball paper for teacher.
Very good. How was it made?
I use force to crumple this newspaper.
Very good. We need give Kenya a round of applause, class. Okay, you will now take your seat. Now, since you have understand our lesson for today, I have some questions here. Now, explain the effect of force on the shape and size of an object. Any volunteer? Yes, Rose?
Using force on an object makes it change its shape and size.
Okay, very good, Rose. And now for our third question. What are some ways of changing the shape and size of an object? Any volunteer?
Teacher,
Yes, Eliza?
we can change the shape and size of an object by using force on it, teacher.
Very good, Eliza. Give Eliza and Rose a round of applause. Thanks.
Okay, kids, did you enjoy your lesson for today?
Yes, teacher.
Since you enjoyed your lesson for today, kindly get a piece of paper, for we will have a short quiz. So, just a little reminder, I have here a questionnaire. So you can easily answer it and you can read it carefully. So for test 1, it is a multiple choice, consists of 5 items. Write only the letter of your answer on your paper, not on a questionnaire, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, for test 2, write an essay explaining the effects of force in the size and shape of your chosen objects. So here are the list of the chosen objects. You choose only one and write it in not less than 3 sentences. Understood?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, I will distribute it to your classmates. Kindly pass it forward. I will give you 10 minutes to answer it. Your timer starts now. Okay, time's up. Time's up. Paper's up. Pass it forward, everyone. I have here an assignment for you. Is it okay?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, you will be grouped into 2 to 3 members and document examples of force induced size and shape changes in your surroundings and present your findings in a multimedia project. In short, you will pass a video presentation to me with the images and description. It will be 15 points. So the deadline is on April 26. This will be on
Friday!
until
59.
So you will pass it on our GC. G drive will be provided by your teacher. So the file format is here. I'll give you an example. So you have to follow this example. Okay? Bye class.
Goodbye and thank you, Teacher Cha.
Good